My name is Shonie Delarosa. I'm German born for Nota Tachini. I'm from the Great Navajo Nation in Arizona. Title of my film is The Arrangement. It's the first full feature film that's done in our Navajo language. It's the first of its kind. And it's a romantic comedy about an arranged Navajo marriage. The inspiration for the film, well, it's a couple of them. First of all, I have two friends that are in arranged marriages. And arranged marriages aren't very common within Navajo anymore. It used to be quite common, probably about 2 generations ago. Very, very common. It was the norm. It still happens today. Like I said, 2 of my friends are in arranged marriages, and I drill them constantly how it was, because somebody who's really knows nothing about an arranged marriage, we all have a million questions. How was it? Did you know the person? What was it all like, the whole experience? And then later on, the getting to know each other, the intimacy, having children, starting a family, and how it is. And then my grandmother, when I was a young man, my grandmother used to tease me about marrying me off, and tell me about how arranged marriages were and why they were in place and why they were the way they were. So she said, "We're going to marry you off to this person," or whatever. And so I always kind of had a little fascination with it, and I figured, I want to do something different, so that's what I did. Half of the movie was extremely challenging to shoot because where we shot is on the Navajo Nation in a very rural area with no running water, no electricity, and excruciating heat. Our average temperatures are about 105 degrees with no cloud cover at all. And it was very, very tough. We'd shoot for 15, 20 minutes and we'd have to break for an hour or 2, to cool off, drink some water, get hydrated again, and go back out and shoot. And plus these locations were extremely far away, so everybody had to travel vast distances to get to these locations. For instance, my 2 lead actors lived in Phoenix, and where we shot at was a place called Navajo Mountain, which is in Utah, right across the Arizona border. And it's a long drive, it's like a 6-hour drive one way, so I had to go. So. Our Navajo language, just like many indigenous languages across, North America, they're slowly fading away, and a lot of our elders, that know our languages fluently are going on, they're passing on. The whole reason behind doing this film in Navajo is to revitalize our language. I got a grant from the Navajo Nation Film Office to help make this movie, and part of the requirements with that grant is that I had to do it at least 80% in our Navajo language. And so finding actors that could speak fluent Navajo language was a challenge, because a lot of our people were sent to boarding schools and were forbidden to speak the Navajo language and forced to speak English, the assimilation of our people. And so, like our parents, our grandparents, a lot of them spoke English to us when we were younger, and speak Navajo because they were, the Navajo was basically beaten out of them. They were forbidden to speak it, so they wanted their kids to learn to speak English and let that be their first language in order to be successful in this world, assimilate. Some of the people that do know it and have learned it, the younger generation, like even people my age and younger that do know Navajo. I don't know Navajo myself. I know fragments and a little bit of it, but I'm definitely not fluent. But the ones that are fluent are far and few in between, especially the younger generation. And so for me to find the actors to come, play these parts in Navajo, it was truly a blessing, and they did an amazing job. And the whole message that I want to put out to, I guess, the viewers, mostly Navajo viewers, is that learning to speak the Navajo language is possible. As difficult as it may be, Navajo is an extremely complicated language, and it's one of the most difficult languages to ever learn. It was used by our Navajo code talkers in World War II to help win the war in the Pacific. That's how complicated it is. So But I want to film to encourage our younger generation to learn it, even people my age to learn it, and give it your best shot. Because our language is everything about who we are as a Navajo people, even as indigenous people. It's who we are as a people, culturally, spiritually, everything. It's in our stories, it's in our songs, it's in our cultural practices, our spiritual practices. It's everything about us. You take away our language, we have nothing. We have nothing. And so that's how I feel that the film that I've done I want people to feel that way, to say this is a beautiful language, this is who we are as a people. This is my first time here in Arkansas. I've never been to Arkansas. I've been to Georgia. I lived in Missouri when I was young, back when my father was in the military. I love it here. The people here are really nice. Fort Smith, everywhere I've gone to go eat or whatever, to go explore, people have been extremely friendly. The staff here at Fort Smith International Film Festival have been fantastic. Very friendly, very helpful, very helping, and it's a great place to network. I've met a lot of new filmmakers, producers, just people from all walks of life. And I've seen some amazingly beautiful films, and to kind of get a new perspective of how other filmmakers work. I don't really go to film festivals as much as I would like to. I'm very thankful to have been invited. I really am. They have taken really good care of me, and I've met, like I stated, I've met some great people. I've got new connections. I've told people, come film where I'm at. Look me up if you're ever in Arizona. I'll show you all these beautiful places. You can shoot there. You can sleep at my house even. I got equipment. I love meeting new people, especially creative people. And knowing the more creative people helps me as an artist, as a creator, to further my creativity by feeding off their ideas, their suggestions, and I believe they feel the same way, and it's just an amazing opportunity for filmmakers to come to film festivals and network with other creative people. And I think it's a win-win, and that's what I love most about film festivals, and I really need to go to more.